G'day and welcome to my Fallout 4 Megaton Settlement Tour. Yes, you heard that correctly, Megaton is in Fallout 4. Let me explain how I'm going to lay out this video before we get things rolling. I will first give you guys a cinematic preview of the settlement, and then I will go into a general overview where I run around the settlement with commentary, but I'll keep the pace rolling. Then I'll give my usual in-depth overview of the settlement where I walk around with live commentary and get into all the itty-gritty details. So if you're new to my channel, I recommend sticking around and watching the video because you won't be disappointed. Alright, without further ado, let's get things rolling. I hope that you all enjoyed that cinematic preview. So here we are, we're at the front of Megaton, heading on inside. We have some turrets tucked in there, Protectron at the front. As I mentioned earlier, I will be keeping the pace rolling through this general overview, but if you want to see things in more detail, then stick around to the end of the video and I'll be doing that. So here we are, the center of town. We can see the ominous bomb sitting there. We can see a path heading up there, but we'll stay in the center of town for now. We can see a Children of Adam dude, just feeling a bit woozy from the radiation. You can see the bar there. The clinic is just on our right as well. Okay, we'll head up here now. We can see the tower in front. We will head up that after, and I'll give you guys a view from up there. For now, we'll go to our left, and I'll head up here and show you guys the view. One of my favorite things to do with my settlements is make some spots where you can view it from above. It really helps you appreciate what you've done so far with the settlement. Here we can see an homage to Moriarty's Saloon, and here is the electrical building. One gripe I had with the original Megaton is it had no farms, so I added in a few in this build. Heading along this catway gives another good view into the town. These catways were probably the hardest part of the build, getting them to line up properly. You see the Sole Survivors weapon workbenches, and here is the Megaton player home. Now if we turn around under the stairs, we can see a tucked away little tent back there. I'll show you guys that in more detail soon. So we have a couple of homes here, and then up these stairs is a general store. If we continue along this path, we have a building which I will go into more detail later again. But there's a bit of a preview. And now we will head up the tower and I'll show you guys the view. Here we are on top of the tower. This is my favorite part of the settlement. My favorite part to look down and just appreciate what I've done so far. I also really like the floodlights on the walls. That gives a very nice effect. And if you're wondering how I got the walls so tall, I just set the scale of some normal walls to be bigger. That is the general overview complete. Now I will show you guys the interiors and go more in detail. So here we have, I don't know what you'd exactly call this, just a tucked away little home for a wastelander. Now the people that live here, they're not very well off because it is right next to the glowing sea, so you wouldn't really want to live here if you know what I'm saying. And this here is a RV turned into someone's home. Now I wanted to keep this place very scrappy and wastelandy as I just mentioned, it's right next to the glowing sea, so you wouldn't really expect many well-off people with clean abodes. There's a farm tucked away in between these two houses, and this one may be my favorite. It's one of those railway cars that you see in Boston. This person is a botanist in my mind. They collect things, collect flowers and jar them up. So if I turn around here, we can see some there jarred up. So they go out into the wasteland and collect some flowers. If you're enjoying the tour so far, make sure to give the video a like. Let's head up these stairs next, up to the general store. This guy has all sorts of junk items tucked away in there. He's got even a bit of food, just anything that a general store would have. Now, as we know in Fallout 4, junk is not actually junk, it's quite useful actually.
Remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
Let's turn around and head on to the next building, which is an institute. Well, it's not an institute building, but there's institute technology. Now, in my mind, this is right next to the glowing sea where Virgil is. So these guys communicate with Virgil and he helps them out with all of their, I don't know, maintenance and stuff like that that they may need to do with the institute tech. So if we head upstairs, we will see a radio transmitter and they use that to communicate to Virgil. You can see that is facing directly to Virgil's cave. So just a little detail for you guys right there. It makes perfect sense in my mind that the Minutemen would utilize the Institute technology. Okay, here we have another farm, as, you know, people need to eat, so they're just going to have as many farms as they can. And in here we can see a farmhouse, I guess you would call it, where they store their farming equipment and can get out of the rain in case it's raining. Moving along, there is the tower which we went up earlier. And at the top of the tower there's just some equipment for the Minutemen. There's a sniper there, so they can come out here along this walkway, and this is facing the glowing sea, so any death claws or rad scorpions coming into the Commonwealth, well, they can be taken care of with that sniper rifle. On our right is the homage to Moriarty's Saloon. Now, it's not a replica, obviously, but, you know, I wanted to give a hint to Moriarty's Saloon. Here we have a bit of a junkyard, just where the people that work at the power place just chuck some junk, some spare parts. Got some patio chairs out here on the way to Moriarty's Saloon. And heading on inside, we can see that no one's in here, as it is in the middle of the day, so it doesn't really make sense. No day drinkers here at Megaton, work needs to be done. A few tables and some equipment and food tucked away behind the bar. Couple of single seaters, and here we have just a single room that someone can rent for the night, nothing too fancy. And on the other side to Moriarty's Saloon is a power place where the power comes for Megaton. And inside there's some men working away and plenty of fuel and just tools and equipment for any repairs. We can see them working on the building here. It's right next to the glowing sea, so lots of rad storms. You can imagine the damage that gets done to this place. Tucked away in here is the final food field, which is mostly just corn with a couple of mute fruits in there as well. It was a bit of an elevated position, so that's really all I could put there. Heading up to the bus now, where there's a couple of beds for, well, obviously people that aren't too well off, but they've brought their suitcase and they want to try to build a new life here. There's another view down onto Megaton. We'll head to the walkways now, and we'll enter the buildings there and show you guys what's inside. So heading along here is another nice view down to Megaton. That is probably my favourite view. I know I've said that a lot, but it is hard to choose. And in here we can see a couple of where the Minuteman soldiers stay, and they've just got weapons and supplies, medical equipment, a couple of little knickknacks for themselves. Getting this walkway all lined up was quite difficult. Now here we have a couple of weapon workbenches for the sole survivor, or really whoever owns this house here, which I guess it would be the sole survivor. It is the player home in Fallout 3. So we have the bobblehead stand, of course, gotta have that in here. A place where they can store some armor and a weapon, and a nice cozy little bed with a Fallout 3 teddy bear on there as well. Nice cozy pre-war style for this place. And just outside is a place where they can sit down and have a meal. Let's head to the center of town now. We have the Brahmin pen just outside the clinic, just like in Fallout 3. So, speaking of the clinic, let's head on inside. A shelf fully stocked with medical equipment, and of course the doctor there. And she's got a little bit of a surgical place where she can take out some bullets or cure the radiation of a traveler. Moving on through the town now, we have the bomb and the Children of Adam man standing there a bit woozy. If we turn around, we have, I can't remember exactly what this place was called, but I know it had plenty of these lights, so I put them all through the place for an homage to that. So here we are, we're inside the bar. There's supposed to be a man working there, but the NPCs in this game don't like doing what they're told. And tucked away just in here is a home in the street. This person likes to collect their nice and clean pre-war knickknacks, so they've got a few littered around. Some caps up there as well, a nice cozy fireplace. And just out front of their house they have a nice cozy little garden. And if we're looking over to the Children of Adam Church, we can see underneath there's a bit of radiation overgrowth, as you'd expect. While we're here, let's head up there and head on inside. So here we are, this is the Children of Adam Church. It is right next to the glowing sea, so it kind of works really well with the Megaton idea as well, that the Children of Adam worshippers would migrate, a few of them would migrate to the Megaton town here. Inside is just a scrappy, run-down little home. That is going to do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I really do hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.